I've seen the inside of more than 2,000 Facebook ad accounts over the past 9 years, and there's one problem that I think holds Facebook advertisers back more than anything else when it comes to getting fantastic results with their Facebook ads, and I'm going to show you what that problem is right now. So I was actually going to record a different video today on a different topic, but we got some really interesting new data from Meta that backs up just how important this problem is and just how much of an issue it can be in terms of hurting your ad campaigns and your results. So I thought I'd change the topic and record a video on this and give some of you guys the kick up the backside that honestly, I think a lot of you need. Okay, so here's the new data that we've gotten from Meta. It's come through in an email from Meta Advertiser Support, and they talk about diversifying your creative assets for stronger results. But the statistic here that I think is really striking is after around 4 exposures, conversions could decrease by about 45%. So once someone's seen your ad 4 times, their likelihood of converting could be as much as 45% less. That is absolutely huge. 4 exposures, 4 frequency effectively, I'm going to talk more about frequency later on, is not that high. To decrease your results, your conversions by 45%, they've not said, and that's a really important point to note here, they've not said decrease your clicks, decrease your results, which can include things like clicks and video views and stuff like that they might accept, but decrease your conversions by as much as 45%. That's absolutely huge. A 45% decrease in conversions is the equivalent of taking, say, your cost per lead or your cost per sale from $20, for example, all the way up to $38. I mean, think about the impact that that's going to have on the performance of your campaigns. You're basically doubling your conversion cost. That could easily take a campaign from very profitable to not profitable at all. It could allow you to not scale, could have all sorts of negative ramifications for your business. And again, 4 exposures is not that many. I know a lot of the people watching this will right now have ads that have people in their target audience that have had more than 4 exposures, that have higher frequency numbers. I'm going to explain the difference between exposures and frequency in a second, because I think that's also really important. Like I said, I was going to create a different video and this came through and I was like, you know what, this is something I've been talking about for a long time, but this really emphasizes the point. I really want to drive this home. So now I'm going to take a second just to explain why this happens and then what we need to do about it as Facebook advertisers to avoid this big mistake that is potentially almost doubling our cost per conversion. So what we're effectively talking about here as the problem is ad fatigue. And why does this happen? Why do ads fatigue? Well, once people have seen your ads a certain number of times, they are less interested. You don't get past the I've seen this before filter is often what I refer to it as, where if users see your ads and they go, I've already seen that, it could almost be subconscious. They're just going to completely ignore it, scroll past, and you've got virtually no chance of then getting that person to consume the ad, which is going to be required for them to take the next action, become a lead, sale, etc. So if you don't get past the I've seen this before filter, you're toast. And obviously if someone's seen your ad before, you don't get past the I've seen this before filter. So that's the real problem with ad fatigue, and we've got a quantifiable metric to talk about this. But why do advertisers run into this issue? Why do they run into ad fatigue so often? And it's basically because advertisers shy away from the hard work when it comes to Facebook ads. Everyone wants the solution to their Facebook ad lack of performance or even an improvement in performance for things that are already going well to be something really easy, right? They want it to be a targeting switch. They want it to be, oh, I just tick this box in the settings and magically my campaigns get better. And those things do exist, and I create videos on that and I get that. But really, the hard work here is making new ads. That's by far the most important thing, and that's the hard work. It's difficult to think creatively, how can I put together high quality creative? It's hard work to do. How can I model from a competitor? Oh, okay, they've done this. That'd be quite difficult to put together. I'm going to have to get other people involved. I'm going to have to get some more equipment. I'm going to have to set up some sort of video recording shoot. I'm going to have to get some video testimonials from clients. This is the hard work, but it is the hard work that needs doing, and advertisers are not willing to do it, and they get a winner and they just run it again and again and again and longer, and it just results slowly drop off over time, and they don't realize that it could be a complete game changer if they just actually did the hard work, made the ads, found some unbelievable winners, and that allowed them to scale their campaigns, okay? So I'm going to give you a specific recommendation in a second. Before I do, I just want to very quickly let you know about my new Facebook Ads Mastery course with community. Super excited about this. So it's all brand new course material that me and my team have put together. It's our best ever stuff. It's actually stuff that we're training new staff members on before we set them loose on client campaigns. So it really has to be the best possible stuff so that they know exactly what they need to do. They have the right expertise to be able to produce fantastic results. So brand new course material, really, really good stuff in there. Comes with a community. So it's a School community. I'm sure you've heard about School if you're watching business related content on YouTube. It's very much the new up and coming platform and it's fantastic. So we've got more than 600 people in there, just like you, advertisers getting involved, asking questions, answering questions. Me and my team are in there all the time, answering questions, providing feedback, helping out the community. We do live calls, live trainings, loads of value, live Q&As, things like that. So if you're interested, there is a link in the video description, and we've priced this to make it much more affordable than our higher ticket stuff like I've done for you services. Is obviously a lot more expensive than this, which is just £97 per month. And we wanted to price this at a point that's basically affordable for everyone that watches my stuff. So there is a link to Facebook Ads Mastery in the video description. Hopefully I'll see you on the inside. So here is my exact recommendation for you if you want better Facebook and Instagram advertising results. And I've got it written in front of me because I don't want to get this wrong. I would recommend that you make 10 times as many new ad creatives as you currently do. So most advertisers will do that on a schedule. You might do it ad hoc, but whatever it is, think about doing 10 times as much. I know the natural action would be like, no way, I never have the time, etc. to do it. But have a think about this, right? If you made 10 times as many ads as what you're currently making, you would get much better results. You will. Here's why. You'd have more practice. And obviously, as we know, when you practice something, you get better at it. That's not rocket science. You would test a lot more different ads, a lot more different styles. And that makes you far more likely to stumble across winners, to just find formats. Maybe you've had a look at a competitor, you spent some time in a Facebook ad library, you see an ad that you like the look of, and you test it in your market and you go, wow, this thing cuts our cost per conversion down by 60%. These things can absolutely happen if you manage to find the right creative. And then of course, once you do that, you can then create a lot more creative like that and further improve the system. And of course, if you made 10 times as many ads, you would avoid ad fatigue, which is like the premise of this entire video, and this big mistake that Facebook advertisers are making is they're letting their ads fatigue, 4+ exposures, 45% lower conversions. That's disastrous. You make more ads, you can avoid that. And as we can see, it's just a complete campaign killer. Okay, so the first thing you need to do right now is actually work out where you're at in terms of how many times have people in your target audience been exposed to your existing ads, because you might need to jump on this right away. So I'm in Ads Manager, I'm in an example Facebook ad account, and we use this account to test various things and to demonstrate videos and things like that. I'm in Ads Manager. So the data here is not quite representative of what we'd expect, but it's still useful for you to be able to see this. So what you need to do is come into Ads Manager and then start by doing this at the campaign level and change your columns to performance and clicks as I've done here, right? It might already be the default. And then if we scroll over, we'll find this frequency column. And we can see that these campaigns, we've got a 2.65, 3, just over a 3, just over a 5, and a 3.45. I wouldn't expect your frequency to be this high. And if we broke this down at the ad level by individual ads, we would see that it was lower than this, because obviously that's the whole campaign level. But I think it's good to start at the campaign level and then go down from there. So I wouldn't expect your frequency to be this high. But I also don't want you to think, well, in that email, if you've got 4 frequency, then that's when you get the problems. I haven't got a 4 frequency or anything above it. I'm absolutely fine. That might not be the case, because this is an average. Frequency is an average. So let's say you look at your frequency and it's a 2.5. Well, within that audience of the people that have been targeted have seen your ads, a whole bunch of them would have seen them once. And I can guarantee the way Meta's delivery system works, a whole bunch of them would have seen your ads 6 times, 7 times, which gives you then an average of 2.5. Now, because you've got a 2.5 frequency, you might not be seeing a 45% decrease in conversions. But imagine a scenario where a good chunk of your best prospects in your audience have already seen your ads 6, 7 times. Some of them have seen them none or 1 time, so you're still getting good results from them. But from those people that have seen your ads a lot, you will be experiencing a much lower conversion rate from those people. So if you've got a frequency of 2.5, yeah, it might not be a 45% reduction in conversions, but maybe it's a 20% reduction in conversions overall, because you're still fine with the people that haven't seen your ads, but there's a chunk that have, and that's bringing you down. So even in that scenario, you can still probably massively improve the situation by creating a lot more ads and going through the things that I just talked about to help improve your performance. But the first thing to do is come in and check your frequency number to see where you're at. Because if you are seeing anything close to a 4 over 4, you've got to jump on this right away. And as I said, don't just look at the individual ad level. You will most likely see lower frequencies at the ad level if you've got multiple ads running. Look at the campaign level as well, because if the ads are similar, you're still going to run into ad fatigue issues. at the campaign level if just a bunch of people have seen that ad and they're less interested and you don't get past the "I've seen this before" filter. So you now know that you have to be consistently adding in new creative to your campaigns if you want the best possible results. And the truth is, you do have time to do that. You can make time to do that. If you're a business owner watching this and Facebook and Instagram ads is an important acquisition channel for you, and I've told my audience, I know that most people that watch my content, Facebook and Instagram ads is the most, if not one of the most important acquisition channels where they find new customers and new clients. Like, what is more important than improving the results of that? Because if you add in new creative and you find new ad creative that cuts your cost per conversion in half, that might allow you to 10x your business. Just that one thing might allow you to 10x your business easily. I've seen it happen all the time. We've been down that road so many times. It is absolutely possible. So all these other things in your business that you think are big priorities, like if ad fatigue is messing up your results, and it's not just removing ad fatigue, it's also the chance to get better at this and get better results. Like, what could move the needle on your results more than that? Very few things can move the needle more on making your advertising much more effective, which allows you to acquire more customers, which obviously then will allow you to have the revenue to solve any other business problem. And that's why I've always taken the approach of like, we get the customers in first, and then a lot of the other business things will take care of itself because we'll have the resources to fix them, hire people, etc., all that sort of stuff. And I know that's a bit of a mindset shift for people because they want to, get the Facebook ads done, tick the box, crack on with other parts. A lot of entrepreneurs feel that way, but I really want to emphasize the importance of making the time for this. And I think that a lot of you watching this would be able to do this. And hopefully this is maybe the little kick up the backside to get you to go ahead and actually do it. And if you're wondering, how do you actually go about producing better quality ad creative, more ad creative? I've got a video that walks you through my process here. In it, I show you one of my favorite tools for relatively quick and easy ad creative creation. A bit of a mouthful, but I strongly recommend you go ahead and check out this video. It shows you what I'd recommend you do, what I do, and you'll probably find it a lot easier to produce some really good stuff and in more volume, which you now know is really important.